That's right. It's the Joes back again. We missed you all. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
Man, I'm doing all right. Excited about the show as always. This is your main man, Ollie, on the mic with Dave Allen. And again, we appreciate you guys coming back to give us a listen. As always, your support is super duper appreciated. And Dave, man, we're only like 100 days away from the season, bro.
I know. I am pumped. I was actually watching this thing on YouTube. It's called Building the Browns or something like that.
Yeah,
It's kind
okay.
of like a updated version of Hard Knocks. They go from I
Oh,
guess from January to about now. I don't know if they're
yeah.
still filming or what, but it was pretty cool. They talked. Freddie Kitchens had his head coach interview, and Odell was talking, and I was just getting into the groove of it since football's right around the corner.
It's not too far away, folks. So it's time to start getting into your fantasy drafts and getting your rankings together and getting your cheat sheets together and a lot to look forward to in these next couple of months. And we're going to start getting some more news coming out of training camp and all that great stuff. So really great time. So again, just want to thank everybody for coming back. Um, we do want to ask if you appreciate the videos and the time we put in. Just hit that like button, comment, be interactive with us. You don't mind answering questions, any questions you may have, and subscribe. Definitely. We definitely appreciate that so very much. And you can visit us on other social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is The Average Joe's Fantasy Football _ between each word. And on Facebook, The Average Joe's Fantasy Football Podcast. So again, we're really excited about all you guys, and we're really excited to ramp this season up. Man, outside of football though, how's things going, Dave? How you been?
Been busy, man. And today I'm coming to you guys from the dungeon. They done shut my power off. They didn't
Oh,
want
they
me to
got him in the
do. They
basement.
didn't, man, they didn't want me to come and do the podcast and help
No.
some people. They said not today. I said no.
Hey, man,
I'm a
forces out
power
there trying
play.
to stop us, but we're here for the people, right?
Absolutely, all day,
Yeah.
every day.
My guy has no power. He's still ready to do the show in the dark. That's what I'm talking about. That's
AD.
commitment. I like it, Dave.
Yeah, hey, the advice might not be professional, but it's heartfelt. I'm here
That's
for you.
right. That's right. But we'll go ahead and knock it out. And we got a great show for you guys today. We're going to go over some news and notes, obviously. We're going to continue our stock down series, our stock down series here. We did running backs last week, and or a couple of weeks ago actually, and surprisingly, we didn't snipe each other too much on that one. So we'll see how this one goes. We have I guess 5 to 10 receivers here that we're not feeling so great about. We want to give that information to you guys and hopefully help you with your upcoming drafts. Before we jump into that, though, let's go ahead and talk about a few pieces of news and notes here, um, Dave. And the first thing I want to talk about here is news that came out of camp today for the Arizona Cardinals. And what we're seeing there is the top 3 wide receivers, or at least the supposed starting 3 wide receivers there, is Fitz, Christian Kirk, and Andy Isabella instead of Hakeem Butler, which I think everybody came in thinking Hakeem Butler was going to be the guy. Um, do, do you buy into that? What you're seeing right now, is it just simply pre-camp hype, or just they're testing things out? What do you feel about that situation there in Arizona?
Yeah, for me, it wasn't. It didn't come too surprising to me, and that's just because I think we talked about right around when the draft, when
Yeah.
the NFL draft had very first concluded. Was seeing on TV on different sports channels that they were talking Andy Isabella up major, and I didn't know anything about the guy, and I believe I said on here, let me, what is this guy all about? Let me
Yeah.
check this out. So for me, it didn't come too much as a surprise, and only thing this did to me was put more fuel to the flame. I think that the people that were already kind of iffy about Andy are kind of looking into what impact he might have. I think this news just can back you up and can make you feel confident if you've already drafted him early, or if you're looking to see who you're going to take. I think that this can make you more confident about that pick.
Yeah, yeah. When he first started out, he was a round 3 rookie pick. He's now moved firmly into the second round. And I mean, by the time camp ends, it may be a bit of a stretch, but you may see him run to the end of the first because we've already spoken at length. Once you get to the end of the first round, there's people there you're iffy on. You got Debo Samuel, maybe like Noah Fant there. I see Justice Hill kind of sneak up in there. So I mean, it depends on how you feel about that. Um, you know, yeah. Look, when he came out, and I said this on the podcast, just watching his film, and you could say that about anybody's film. Anybody's film is going to be phenomenal. They're going to show you the best stuff. But just watch him to do this. Not he's lightning fast, and if his quarterback was any good in college, he would have scored on every single highlight. He had to wait for the ball 99% of the time, and he couldn't get out there. So I know they're excited about his speed. The only thing that gives me pause about that is it seems like you got three slot receivers now. And Christian Kirk, Fritz, and Isabella, they all kind of have that same mold. Now, I guess Isabella is fast enough to be kind of like Deshaun Jackson, seem kind of, I don't know, but he's also very small. He's not that big of a guy. So it'll be interesting to see how things work out because Hakeem Butler is more of that prototypical bigger-bodied wide receiver outside guy. I want to see how that battle shapes out as the preseason goes on. Now, quick question. So now a lot of people are high on Christian Kirk, and maybe this might be a guy we don't need to talk about right now because maybe we're getting ready to talk about him in a minute. But does that take away from him in your eyes? Because he was the incumbent slot guy. You know, okay, we're going to let Fitz kind of, you know, old himself out of this thing, but and Christian Kirk is the next guy up. But now do you think Isabella's the next guy up, or?
Yeah, I think you have to. My gut says go with Kirk, but Kirk isn't a big guy either. He's not a big bruiser guy either. So you see these guys that are like you just said, all slot players. You see Fitz might be your prototypical outside receiver, but he's older. He's not as fast anymore, so you're not expecting him out there. Kirk is in the second season, but it's a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach, it's a new offense, so that doesn't necessarily matter. They say he's catching on really quickly.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be your speed, your down the field, fly by guy type of.
Tyreek Hill kind of a possibly.
Right, but as far as how they're using them, but I don't. As far as taking away, I wouldn't say he's going to damage Kirk too much. I think the more damage we'll see is David Johnson being used like he should have been used last year.
Yeah.
I think that's what more of the damage as far as the passing. I know Cliff wants to do an air raid type of deal, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. Like you said, it's something to watch for training camp, definitely.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and move along. Let's talk about real quickly the Redskins here and Dwayne Haskins. A lot of good stuff coming out of camp here about him. They're saying he's seeing the field real well. He's doing everything they ask him to do. Are you seeing him as a day one starter, or is he going to sit on the bench here for a little bit?
I think he's going to be a day one starter. I said the only bad thing I've seen them say coming out of camp is that during their 2-minute drills and things of that nature, when they're playing more up speed, he hasn't made the best decisions. They said Case Keenum was making better decisions, and of course you're going to expect that. Case Keenum's a vet. Dwayne's just coming in, so that's you're expecting that. And I think with training camp, that's going to be something that he can adjust to. He's got this time right now. He has the mini camp. He's got training camp to just get his mind right. I can see Haskins coming out there and taking the first snaps first day.
Yeah. And that's been the kind of the trend of the NFL anyhow, you know, kind of throw these rookies out there. I tend to lean more towards the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers deal where, okay, give this guy a year and a half to sit. Let him sit and learn. Let him watch a little bit. And kind of get the NFL speed. I mean, you get a lot of those reps in practice. And I like to see people sit. But nowadays, it's, hey, go out there. And sometimes you catch Cam Newton, and sometimes you catch Josh Rosen. You know, because it's not working out. Yeah. And I actually, talking about Josh Rosen, really hope that they let him sit behind Fitzpatrick. for a year, or at least half a season, just to kind of, because you can ruin a guy too. Look at Nathan Peterman.
Right.
You know, I mean, they threw him out there, and he was not ready, and I don't know if he'll ever be ready. But either here nor there, yeah, I could see them doing that as an organization, but I do hope they let him sit for half a season to kind of watch and catch his mind up with the game. We'll see. All right, good deal. Do you want to talk about Tyreek Hill? I don't really want to talk about him all that much, but the news is he met with investigators the other day. What are you seeing with this? Are you drafting him anywhere? What do you think about Tyreek?
He's so. This is just for me. No, short answer, no. I am not drafting Tyreek. I mean, I think we have gotten to the point now that at one point we were talking, you know, Tyreek might not play in the NFL ever again.
Yeah.
I think we've all gotten to the point that
Right.
that's not going to happen. He's going
Right.
to play. It's just a matter of, you know, where you're comfortable taking him. If you're comfortable with him sitting out 8 to 10 games.
Right.
But for me, short answer, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend the capital where I feel like I'm going to have to take him, which right now I think it's 4th, 5th round. I think I'll pass on that.
Absolutely. I'm in the same camp with you. Outside of the personal stuff and how I feel about it, it would take a little bit more of a slide. There are people still that I like in the 4th or 5th round that I'd rather take safely, and it might be short-sighted. It probably is short-sighted because he's a top 5 receiver when that offense, when he's on the field. So it's probably very short-sighted not to take him in the 4th, but you are cannibalizing yourself this year, definitely, because I can't see him getting anything under the 8 games. I mean, Adrian Peterson got the full season for spanking this kid. Now, don't get me wrong. There's allegations. There's all kind of stuff going on. We don't actually know what happened, but just the allegation that he broke his son's arm, I can't see him getting anything less than 8. But I guess we'll see. Right. He may get 0, and we're all wrong. You know. All right, moving on past that.
And that's the.
Go ahead.
I mean, just real quick. That's the thing about that situation is, it's with all the uncertainty, and that's the only problem. It's not the situation of, well, I think he's going to get 8 games, so I'm not taking him. If I knew for a fact it was going to be 6 games, or I knew it was going to be 7 games, whatever, I might be able to judge it a little better. Maybe I take a certain person in the first round, what have you. But without knowing, it's hard to value where you take them.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and talk real quickly about Kyler Murray. And we're hearing a lot of great things. They're saying all the right things about him in camp. We knew kind of going in. I don't think there's any question. He's the day one starter. They got videos out on him on Instagram, throwing the ball through little hoops and stuff like that now. That shows his accuracy. And I think he hit like 5 or 6 in a row, and the coach was like, yeah, that's the first one this season. Out of all the quarterbacks, they hit all the targets. We know he's blazing fast. Do you see, I know it's in the realm of possibility. It's not even a question. Do you see him as a top 5 finish this year?
Oh,
Cam Newton did it. Newton did it.
That's rich for me.
Cam did it.
Rich for me though. Cam is a different beast.
Robert Griffin came in 7th in his rookie season. 7th.
Now I can do top 10. I can give Murray top 10. Top 5 for me, but you've got so many. Or let me not say so many.
And he's a better passer than Cam. Cam is not that great of a passer. Now, we're going to talk about that later. I'm not going to talk about it. But
yeah, the two people you named did most of their damage, especially RG3, were on the ground.
Exactly.
To get to that top 5 finish.
Yeah.
So, and with I don't believe either one of them had very prolific running backs at the time. And you've got Kyler Murray with David Johnson, and who Cliff has already said that he loves what Chase Edmonds brings, and he might get lined up in the slot or in 2-back sets or what have you. And so we don't know how much Kyler's going to take off. Now, I will say top 10 I can see. Top 5 is a little too far for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call, but, man, I just remember seeing him in college when he was going up against it, and I finally, started paying him attention. I'm an Alabama fan, so I'm all Alabama. But you keep hearing noise about this guy, and I start watching this film. Like, this dude is fast. He's not Russell Wilson. He may be that kind of in that mold, But he's faster than Russell. He's faster than Russell. He's faster than Cam. Not as big as Cam, obviously, but he knows how to slide. Man, I can definitely see a top 10 finish. I think we might have to have a bar bet on this. How six. I say he'll finish top 6. You saying outside top 6? I'll go bar bet on you on that one.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll say outside top 6.
All right.
We can do that.
It's a bar bet. Someone's gonna be rapping, so you gotta come back. You gotta come back for that one. Someone's gonna be rapping, so we'll see how it goes.
You're gonna have 2 raps you gotta do. You're gonna have this Golden Tate rap.
Oh, wait, we never finished. We never finished the whole thing on Golden Tate though. Because we were talking, we said like 20-ish. Remember, we never came up with an actual number.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely right.
Never came up with an actual number. So, I mean, we can still revisit Golden Tate. I'm going to have to look at my rankings again, but yeah, we'll revisit that one. We'll come back to it. Anyhow, let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about our 5 stock down wide receivers. We got a few guys here, and they're a little bit outside of the mold. I'm not talking about guys, hey, we thought he was a top 5 pick and he dropped down to number 8. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about guys that you may take as your wide receiver 2 or 3, them to slow on. I'm assuming Dave's done quite a bit the same thing, and we want to get into that and help you guys out, maybe avoid some of these guys or see if they slide and take them a little bit later. So, Dave, I'm going to let you start off, man. Who's your first guy?
So I'm gonna come out with a guy. He might actually be on your list, so this might be a good night for me. So I'm glad you let me start first. But first for me is gonna be Jarvis Landry. I think right now you're getting him around end of round 5. I think that's where his ADP is. And for me, it's just too many mouths to feed in Cleveland.
Yeah.
The way I'm looking at it is, as far as Cleveland goes, I like Baker and I like OBJ. After that, it gets kind of how you want to pick it. I've heard people say, AB opened it up for Juju, so why can't OBJ open it up for Jarvis? Well, the difference is OBJ opening it up for Jarvis. He's opening it up for Njoku. He's opening it up for Nick Chubb. He's opening it up for Kareem Hunt. It's a lot of people. It's way more people.
A lot of openings.
Yeah. He can't open it up for everybody now. And OBJ is going to demand targets. He just is. No matter how you slice it, he's going to demand targets. So for me, Jarvis Landry in the 5th round is too rich for me. If he can fall 7th, 8th, maybe I'll be glad to take him there. But 5th, there's too many other options. I think you're still getting Tyler Boyd there. You're getting Williams, so I would rather those guys.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. He's kind of on my, to an extent, do not draft list. And I'm seeing him going earlier than that. I've seen some drafts where he hit 4th round, and I can't believe it. Not even the 5th, like you're saying. Got Tyler Boyd there. You can get possibly a Goodwin there, Mike Williams there. Heck, people are overlooking even Edelman. Edelman, he's a top-end wide receiver too. Why are you taking Jarvis Landry, who he's only produced when he's been the top target getter on the team? He's not that, as far as I can see and tell, that, hey, I'm going to take this short 3-yarder to the house. That's not really his game. But if you can pepper me with 10 targets, I'll be, pretty valuable. And he's just not going to get that with OBJ there. He's not going to get, you got Kareem Hunt coming, at some point in time in the season. You got Chubb there, like you said, Njoku there. If I'm not mistaken, is it Higgins? I think Higgins, something like that. He's still there. He kind of shows some flashes.
Yeah.
You got
people are excited about Callaway.
Yeah, man, you got a lot of stuff here happening. I just don't think it's going to be enough to have him be a solid fantasy producer for you. Now, I did in one of my best ball leagues here recently pick him up as my number 3 receiver. I think he's fine in that range, but wide receiver 2, obviously above, is not going to work. So you didn't snipe me. He was one of my honorable mentions, but he wasn't on my 5. So we've been doing pretty good the last couple of rounds, man. So let's see what we got here. My first guy here is A.J. Green. A.J. Green. It's very tough because you're hearing just about everybody right now saying, why is A.J. Green sliding? It's ridiculous. He's a top, 10 talent, all that stuff. there's one I like AJ Green a lot. I've had him on numerous fantasy squads over the years. I can't get down with the foot injury. The foot injury does not go away, folks. It sticks around. It lingers. You may be okay for a game. You may be okay for 8, but it pops up. Just ask Sammy Watkins. Just ask Julio Jones. The only thing with Julio Jones is he's been rock solid and tough enough to play through the foot injuries. So that's why you're not seeing him. But he's always kind of gimpy with that foot, but he's still a top-tier receiver with it, so he just plays through it. But no, Sammy's missed, as we can already, plenty of time with foot injuries, and until I see him come back for a full season or a good 15 or 14 games with that foot injury, I just can't do it. So if I can get him late third, fourth, I'll do it. I'll take him as my wide receiver too. Or if I'm going running back heavy, I guess I would be okay with him as the wide receiver one on my team. But even, around there, you're still talking about possibly other guys that you can take that are a little bit safer in that range. As I keep mentioning, Edelman is right on the cusp, and people want to write him off. I don't know why. But he's going to give you close to wide receiver numbers. I think I mentioned to you just the other week some statistics that I found on Edelman that he was like number 2 or 3 in the league against zone coverage. Like 80% of the time he busted. And
I
all these
remember that.
Statistics, like, wow, I had no clue he was that high on the list around the league. Round 4, you got Brandon Cooks, Adam Thielen going sometimes. I mean, T.Y. Hilton. I'm taking those guys. I'm probably taking those guys over AJ Green this year. I'm sorry. Stephon Diggs, he's more third roundish, but he might be close. No, I'll take those guys over the injury that he has there.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's crazy. It's so crazy to think, as you were saying, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, well, I might see him. Nah, I couldn't take him there. Well, maybe. Nah, I don't know, because he's great receiver. He's it's being on the field. We need to see you on the field, and like you were saying, those names you mentioned, I would take all those guys. I would include Robert Woods to that list. I would take Robert.
Ooh, now that's a hot take. That's scorching hot. Even I'll have to say, I don't know.
I would now. I mean, and this is if we're talking. Of course, if we're going wide receiver one, I don't want Robert Woods as my wide receiver one. So if I got to the point where it was one of them, I would say AJ. But if I'm looking at my wide receiver 2, and I've got Robert Woods, I've got AJ Green. Exactly. Now, but yeah, I'm with you on that with AJ Green. And I was in a draft, and he actually fell to the 4th round, and he was there for me to take. I already had 2 receivers, and I feel like I could have, wide receiver 3 and AJ Green.
Oh, that would have been awesome. Yeah,
but it was like just the fact that he was there is the thing, and so I'm with you though on him and that injury. It's hard to put your trust there.
Yeah, and I know you and I are both huge Robert Woods fans, and there's a lot of people that ask that question between the 3 receivers there, Kupp, Woods, or Cooks. Who do you want? Every single time I tell you Woods. He's giving you a solid 12 to 16 points every week, hands down. I don't write it down. I don't have to worry about what he's going to give me. Now, he's not going to give me that huge boom game of 30 or 40 points like Cooks can, but I know what I'm getting out of him. At the end of the season, his stats are going to match up with anybody else's because he's so consistent. The perfect wide receiver, too. I love him in the 5th round. Anyhow, good deal. All right, man, who's your number 2 guy?
Number 2, Amari Cooper.
Woo! Another hot take.
And it is not. Anyway, it is not because I'm an Eagles fan and I hate the Cowboys. Let me tell you.
Maybe just a little bit.
I would take some Ezekiel Elliott, and I just drafted Dak in our Super Bowl.
Okay, so you're right.
I want to put that out there. But no, for me, Amari Cooper's going around middle of round 2. He's another guy that I don't want as my starting receiver. So if I'm taking a running back 1st round, I do not want Cooper as my number 1. And it's a multitude of reasons. First of all, I understand that he came from let's say the first 2 seasons he had all pro caliber years. It was fantastic. Then I believe he was hurt. I don't think he played a full season the next couple of seasons. He came to Dallas and was fantastic last year. Here's the thing. We got Randall Cobb is now there. Say what you want. He's going to be an impact. He's better than Cole Beasley, so he's going to be an impact on the field as far as running in the middle routes. Him and Whitney, the same, I feel like, are going to take a lot of those middle, short, little first down routes that Amari Cooper was so good at last year, catching little slants or catching digs and just taking them for these crazy yards. That's not a air raid. I'm throwing the ball 15, 20 yards down the field. That's not what Dak has been. That's not what he's going to be. Now, moving forward, you've got Travis Frederick coming back, who's going to be a fantastic blocker to fix that offensive line that they were missing a little bit last year. Once again, I bring up Witten as a blocker. Fantastic to help open up the run game for Zeke, and that's what the Cowboys are. They run the ball through the ground. I feel like they're going to get back to that. I don't think you're going to get the wide receiver one production in the second round that you're looking at from your Keenan Allen, that you're looking at from your Juju if he's in round 2, or your Mike Evans and things of that nature.
I'm with you. I've never been that huge of an Amari fan, even though he came out of Alabama. We've talked about him numerous times. I quite honestly, I think one of the episodes last year, so I thought he was going to be the greatest wide receiver to come out of Alabama that has ever been. And he's been somewhat of a disappointment. He had a couple of 1,100-yard seasons in Oakland, but I'm with you to an extent. I can see him being the wide receiver one, depending on where you're drafting. Because once you get to the end of the second round, coming into the third round, you're looking at him, you're looking at Diggs, you're looking at Thielen. Those are the guys we're probably looking at. Possibly Keelan Allen if he's dropped in the draft. I'll probably go Keenan over him. I feel like Diggs and Thielen. I feel like he's the number one of his team, 100%. You have this toss-up between Diggs and Thielen. Even though on that offense it seems to support them both, I just feel like he's, I don't want to say safer. I just kind of rather have him than Diggs or Thielen. So I could see him being the wide receiver one on my team if I'm going running back Amari Cooper. I'm not sad. I'm not too upset with that, So I wouldn't mind taking him.
If you've gone running back Amari Cooper, if you got Amari Cooper in the third round, then I think, at that point, I think you're strong enough at running back to where if you wanted to, I don't know, trade later and get you another receiver to pair with Amari Cooper, or I feel like the strength at your running back position gives you enough to have Amari Cooper as your one.
Right. You probably won't see that much outside of Superflex where a few quarterbacks are going early.
Right.
So that might be a little bit of a stretch. But I don't know. If I'm on that turn, if I'm at the end of the first, on the turn, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not too mad about that one. Absolutely. All right, my second guy is Alshon Jeffrey. Last year I was in a chat room and I just said, in the chat room, for some reason I just can't draft Alshon. I don't know why. I don't have any statistics that tells you that he's not a good receiver. There's no particular reason. It's not his name. It's just, I don't quite like him. I don't know why it is. I just can't seem to pick my finger and draft him unless he falls really far. And now there's even more reason outside of just the feeling that I don't like him to not like him. Now you have possibly a pretty strong running game. They finally have two really good running backs that they can probably rely on, and Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard. You got basically Alshon Jeffrey Light and Arcega Whiteside. That he reminds me a lot of Jeffrey. Obviously there's Ertz there, and if you're following all the hype train this year, you got Dallas Goedert. Everybody's hyping up like he's going to start getting a lot more reps. I mean, now all of a sudden, still Aguilar's there. I mean, you got a lot of folks in this offense all of a sudden to feed the ball to. And in my opinion, he wasn't that great when he was just the main guy by himself anyhow. So I don't know. but a lot of people seem to pick him up kind of early, sixth round, somewhere around there. But he's just a guy that I just glance over and keep on going. How do you feel about Alshon, man?
I'm in the same boat. Unless we're talking standard scoring, I don't really have any want to get Alshon. And even in standard, I might overlook him and just say, you big body. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I like the big bodies in standard scoring. But no, I'm with you. Like, and we know we've seen this. Carson Wentz. We haven't seen the Carson Wentz Deshaun Jackson connection yet, which
Right.
from what
I didn't even mention Deshaun Jackson. Yeah, he's there now. Golly.
Yeah. Yeah. And from what I'm hearing, that's going to be awesome. But we know Carson will force feed the heck out of Zach Ertz. I mean, that's his guy. That's his go-to guy. We look at Alshon Jeffrey in the red zone. So, and what we've been preaching on is health. Alshon has a history of injuries. We know that. So I'm with you on Alshon, especially the fifth round. Oh my goodness, sixth round, seventh round, what have you? No. I would definitely go different ways. Dante Pettis is going around that area, so I would much rather take Dante over Alshon.
Absolutely, yeah. And we had that joke last year. We were talking about Zach Ertz. It was like, man, you threw Zach Ertz 10 passes this game. What about that last one? He was double teamed. And Carson's like, yeah, but he wasn't triple teamed. So there's only two people around him. So, I mean, come on. All right, man. Who's your third guy?
Yeah, so third for me, man, we're gonna have to go with old Corey Davis.
Okay. Yeah.
He's currently going around the end of the fourth. He's going around Alshon.
Dude, he's been dropping. He's been dropping. Oh, gosh.
Well, then good. If he's dropping, then keep drop him. Because, this for me is not a lack of talent. I think Corey Davis is very talented.
Oh, yeah,
I like
of course.
Corey Davis a lot. I don't like, and I think a lot of people are saying this, it's Mariota. That's the issue.
That is the issue.
When it comes to that. And then on top of that, we know for a fact the Titans figured it out at the end of last year. Derrick Henry is where our offense will start. It was where our offense will end. Is with Derrick Henry. So we know that's the area they're moving towards. Adam Humphries isn't a huge signing for me as far as fantasy impact, but as far as a guy that's going over the middle and going to catch the little passes that are going to take targets away from Corey Davis, you have to put that into factor when you're looking at Corey Davis. And all these reasons just make Corey Davis. When I was looking at his ADP, it was around 5 or 6. But if he's dropped, then he might be at a good value for me now.
Yeah. In our last draft, the draft that you and I are in now, he dropped to the 9th round. That is good value.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I just look over him now. He's kind of in that Alshon Jeffrey category for me. I see him. I'm like, no. You got A.J. Brown there, who by all accounts is maybe just as good, if not better. You mentioned Adam Humphries, and then they're going to turn into a running team. And then Mariota, though. Just all those factors mixed in, you can't. The best thing for Corey Davis right now is possibly a trade. Get him out of there. Yeah. He reminds me, I'm not quite sure if he has the top-end speed, but he just reminds me of Julio Jones a lot. It's how he kind of feels to me. Or maybe Dez Bryant, something like that. And I think he could be, could you imagine his talent level on, like, San Francisco? Where, that would be nice.
Just get him just get him a quarterback. That's just the only issue. The guy is talented. If you're just listening to what other people are saying about don't drop Corey Davis, and you're just like, okay, well, he must not be good. You've gotta at least look at some kind of film. The guy he's a great player.
Right.
If Mariota steps it up, then you might have something there. But I don't see it.
Yeah. And he, like I said, went 9th round this last draft you and I are in, and then he went in 8.1 in my last draft before this one. So he has dropped. pretty significantly, and that's because of all the reasons we're talking about. And I think the draft has kind of sunk him. I mean, it was just sunk.
Yeah.
Then Adam Thielen coming. I mean, not Adam Thielen. Adam Humphries coming over. Yeah, it's over. And he's still got Tyrod Taylor there. I mean, he's
right.
Too much. All right, man. My third guy is Marquise Lee. And he hasn't been going high, but he's been a value at the end of drafts, and I'm thinking that possibly there may not even be any value at this point. There's still reports that he hasn't fully recovered from the horrific knee injury he had. You got Dede Westbrook there. You got your boy Keelan Cole there. And now there's been reports, and again, these are just reports. This is just still kind of preseason, obviously hype. But Chris Conley is there. And if you look at Chris Conley, when he came out of college, he was a top athlete. His SPARQ scores were off the charts. He's one of those guys where you say, okay, if his measurables translate over, he's going to be an insane. He's a 4'4" guy, 6'1", decent size. He's there as well, making a little bit of noise. But not only that, now you're talking about, and it's always been this way, but that was when they've always been a run first team for the last little while. But he was the only guy in town. He was the show. He was it. Okay, and now you got 3, maybe 4 of the wide receivers there. That can take some of that share, that ball share that he has away. I don't know. I don't know if he comes back as the absolute number 1 wide receiver on the depth chart at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm with you, and personally, I hate to see that. I like Marquise Lee, and I caught myself trying to be sneaky, picking him up here and there, drafting him.
Yeah, I mean, still you're drafting him so late. It's not it's not killing you.
No, absolutely not. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as far as my thought when I was taking him was week 1, hey, like I'm gonna see Marquise Lee of last year. That was where my mind went when I was taking him, and it's all the reports are coming out just like you said. I mean, you have to think even when he comes back, how long will it take him to get accustomed with Nick Foles? Like he's not even throwing the ball. Right. He's not even catching passes from this guy. So you've got that. You've got when will he play? Week 2, week 3. Like what? At that point, are we so impressed with Dede? Are we so impressed with Keelan and Chris and whomever else they have in that receiving core that it's not a huge factor? Do they move on? All of this. So I'm with you. It's hard to look at Marquise, and especially even if you are going to pick him up, in your head, when do you see playing him? You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, do you take a guy when you're getting close to the end of the draft, now you're looking for the safety stuff is done. Right. We don't care about that anymore. Right. We're looking for breakout. Right. So, I'm with you.
Yeah, and I'm still fine drafting him around that 20, I'm not going to get there, probably 17, 18 range. I mean, that's still fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have a shot at getting the number 1 wide receiver there. It's just the things I think will progress a little bit slower, and now there's a little more competition at the position, along with they're going to give the ball to Leonard Fournette 25 times a game before they let him walk, which I think is going to happen. But we'll see. But yeah, Marquise Lee, I'm a little bit down on. Who's your 4?
Yeah, so I'm about to turn the heat up in here a little bit.
You already did, man. You done made some hot takes already, so I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I say the best one for last. But anyway, right now, Antonio Brown for me is. Oh
man, we're not talking to you about Antonio. We already know you're anti-Antonio. This is nothing new. If you haven't heard his Antonio take, just go back to the first couple of last season. Whatever, dude. He's gonna be great. He's gonna have a great season.
Look. Here's the thing for me. First thing that has really harped on me, and of course this has to change because there's no other option. But he's never caught a pass from any quarterback other than Ben Roethlisberger. I know I've said that before. But and the thing is, he's only played for the Steelers. I get that, but when backups come in or whoever, he's never caught a touchdown pass from anybody not named Ben Roethlisberger.
I'm not saying he's gonna go to.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying he's going to go to the Raiders and he's just going to be scoreless the entire season. Obviously not. But I also don't see his 9, 10, 11. I don't see those types of seasons either. I don't see him getting force-fed the ball like Ben Roethlisberger, regardless of what Antonio Brown felt. I still think Ben was force-feeding him the ball a lot last year. Double coverage, throwing it towards him. I know AB was like, I'm not getting what I want, but he was getting plenty of targets. The offense in a whole is not nearly as good as what he had in Pittsburgh. I don't know if he'll have the quote-unquote freedom that he had in Pittsburgh. I mean, and AB's a fantastic player, but and maybe it's one of those things, those Alshon Jeffrey things for you. Maybe that's what it is for me.
Okay.
It's just hard for me to start my team with a guy in first year new system with a lot of controversy, and I feel like for himself it's going to be all of this. I got to do whatever. I got to blah, 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 blah. And I'm just looking at it as you were so great where you were. Are you going to be great where you are now?
I think he will. I actually, I have come up on him a little bit since the beginning of the off season. I think I was kind of been more leaning towards where you're at right now at one point, but I've come around just thinking about the situation. You and I have said numerous times on this podcast that Derek Carr, I believe, has kind of gotten a bad rap. He's not a bad quarterback. He's not Eli Manning at this point in a stage of his career. He is a decent quarterback, and I think the opposite. I think he's going to force feed the heck out of Antonio Brown. You look at what he did in Pittsburgh, where he did get a lot of force-fed passes. But that's coming from a strong personality of Big Ben, who can kind of hold his own against AB, in the locker room. I don't see Derek Carr being that guy. I think if AB sticks his lip out and throws his helmet, here comes 6 passes on the next drive. I mean, I think that's going to happen here, and that they do have a field stretcher in Tyrell Williams. They do have an underneath guy. I forgot who they picked up. Picked up Ryan Grant, but now they got the rookie. I think Renfro. Whatever.
Yeah, Hunter Renfro.
So I think they got a decent wide receiving core here. They brought in some decent guys, and also they're going to have a pretty good running game. I believe that Jalen Richard and obviously senior moment. I have these every now and again, folks. Josh Jacobs is going to provide plenty of ground support. So I see him having a really good season. Now, would I pick him first round? Absolutely not. But if I'm starting, my pick 1, 2, 3, something like that, and I'm coming back around, I got Kamara, and I got to choose between him and Amari Cooper. I'm going AB. I'll take him at that point, and then on turn come back and get me another decent running back like Marlon Mack, or maybe even go wide receiver again. Maybe pick up Diggs. I mean, that's not a bad start. You can start off Kamara, AB, Diggs. You have a good start.
I'm gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to see it to believe it. For me, I'm
okay with that.
I am avoiding AB. I'm not. No, I'm not saying anything that you said was wrong. I agree. I can definitely see a Dez Bryant sort of situation with him and Derek Carr. Look, man, I didn't come here for you to be passing the ball.
Right, anybody else.
People. That's not what I came here for. But I can see that. I definitely can. I can see it. It's just hard for me to envision it.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll see how that goes. I'm not confident enough to do a bar bet. We only got one out there. We'll let this one ride. But I think he's going to have a really productive season. Maybe not producing on a level in Pittsburgh, but top 10 is certainly within the realm of possibility, if not top 5. I think 5 or 6 is right there where he'll probably land up. But we'll see. All right, man. My number 4 guy is Quincy Enunwa. I just think he's been probably kicked out of his most comfortable role as a slot receiver. You've spoken, not say a lot, but a couple of times on Jamison Crowder and your love for him and what you think he's going to do on that offense. At the end of the season, we've seen a connection between Darnold and Robbie Anderson. So I think between those two guys, you bring Bell in, who's going to command some targets out of the backfield. I think he'll be on the field. I think he's going to start, but I just think he's the odd man out when it comes to targets.
Yeah, I'm with you. They were talking about him lining up on the outside or what have you. And, yeah, just like you said, that's not where he's excelled at. And I think it's going to be kind of rough for him to keep that connection with Darnold moving forward.
Absolutely. Who's your fifth guy?
Yeah, so
I think I should have said. Now you saying this is a big hot take?
It was, and I'm actually making a last minute change because I feel like the way I'm feeling about it is not really. We'll discuss it at another time.
Okay.
I'm making a quick change.
Okay. All right. I hope you don't snipe me. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, my quick change on the fly is going to be Geronimo Allison with the news that's come out about MVS looking like the number 2 guy. I love me some Geronimo.
Yeah.
Even after that news, I'm still drafting Geronimo if I went in 12th, 13th round when I can get him. But it is kind of it makes me kind of nervous to see that MVS is taking that number 2, and then of course you got in the back of my head personally, Jake Kumerow there, who Aaron Rodgers continues to praise and heap praise on, and he already said he wants to pass Devontae Adams the ball even more. So where are these targets for Geronimo going to end up? Are there going to be enough? So it is kind of makes you kind of nervous.
Yeah, and I would say even the report today came out. We didn't talk about news and notes because I didn't think it was important enough. But the coach said they want to pass to the running backs a little bit more this season as well. Get the ball to Aaron Jones a little bit more, and Williams can catch the ball at the backfield as well. But no, I'm glad you brought him up because he was one of my honorable mentions that I wanted to chat about real quickly. So I'm glad we're getting a chance to really kind of dive into this. And the reports have said that MVS may be taking over the number 2 role on the outside. Now, this is pre-camp, so this could be just an experiment.
Right.
You never know, because Geronimo Allison, before he got hurt, was very, very, very good in that role. But what I would say to that is, if he is a starter, there is room to eat in that offense for all 3 starters, even the slot guys. So to throw him in the slot, you're going to get some value there. And the great thing, though, and this is what I commend Dave for, folks, and this is another great reason to listen to the show, because you're not getting just overly biased opinion unless we're talking about Antonio Brown. Then he's just off. Okay. But outside of that, this guy here he's convicted. He picked Geronimo Allison up in one of our drafts, 8th or 9th round. I mean, huge reach to get his guy. So I know it pains him to say this, because that's not, I picked him in the 10th round, maybe a round too early. We saw him in the 8th round, so I know him giving this analysis on Geronimo is painful, but it's to help the folks out, to help the people out. So hope you guys can appreciate that, and again keep listening. So, but no, I think you're gonna get some value out of him still. Not 8th round value, but as a late rounder, 12, 13 kind of a guy that you can pick up, I still like him a lot. I still like Geronimo a lot. All right, so you didn't snipe me. I just knew this guy was going to be on your list. I just knew it. With 100%, I knew he was going to be, and he wasn't. So we're going to talk about Devin Funchess a little bit here. Devin Funchess in Indianapolis. Nothing overly negative has come out about Devin Funchess. But nothing great. Everything that you're hearing is tongue-in-cheek. Oh, he's done some good things. Oh, we kind of like what we're seeing. He's doing okay in camp. Nothing like, hey, this guy is going to be a huge target for us. So glad we picked him up. He's doing everything that we need him to do. Man, I'm really excited about him. You're not hearing that about Funchess. You're hearing that about Parrish Campbell. And I think kind of like we're talking about that Quincy Enunwa situation, maybe Funchess is the odd man out here. You got 2 tight ends in Jack Doyle and Ebron. And I even heard somebody the other day talk about Mo Ali Cox might end up being a breakout. That's going to be red zone targets. You got the running game. They were talking. You seen at the end of the season, they force fed the ball to Marlon Mack 20, 22, 23 times a game. Where is he going to fit in? Now you got Paris Campbell, maybe in a slot, maybe going to be out. I mean, where is he going to fit in to make himself valuable outside of maybe third down possession guy? Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I think he's the odd man out. I don't think he's going to do anything this season.
Yeah, no, I'm with you too. I think you are relying at this point. You're relying on Funches to be your Eric Ebron of last year. That's what you're hoping for, and I don't think that's what you're gonna get. Of course, you're holding on to the hope. Well, Paris Campbell's a rookie. Well, they signed Funches for a reason. Well, yeah, we get all that. That makes sense. But I think even if Funches has the number 2 role when the season starts at the training camp, I don't think he will be efficient enough to hold it throughout the whole season. I think you will see more Paris Campbell than you want to as a Funches owner if you're bullish enough to do that.
Yeah.
And Funches reminds me, for me, I kind of look at Funches and I look at Alshon Jeffrey and I'm kind of like, yeah, you guys are kind of the same. But I think Jeffrey has more talent. But I think I'm passing on Jeffrey. I'm passing on Funches. It's kind of the same. I think. And I also think you're hearing the same thing out of Indianapolis that you heard in Carolina. There's no different thing you're hearing. He's doing exactly what we wanted to do, what we brought him in to do. He wasn't productive in Carolina. I don't think he's going to be productive in Indianapolis, so I'm with you.
You know what? And I was thinking about this. I think we were talking earlier about Cam Newton. I said that, that Callum Murray is a better passer, and I think that wholeheartedly. However, every wide receiver that's left Carolina has shown not to be as good as we possibly thought they were, with the exception of Steve Smith. So is it Cam Newton or these I don't want to say sorry. These not as good as we thought receivers. Calvin Benjamin, is he even going to be in the league this season? I mean, Devin Funches, can't get the number 2 role over a rookie, in camp. Maybe they're holding Cam Newton down. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not his fault. Okay, because he supported Steve Smith pretty well when he was there.
Yeah, and I think I understand where you're going. I think me and you also know that that Cam is good to let some balls fly. They go a little over some heads. We're not gonna let Cam get off the hook completely. But I'm with you. No, definitely. You've definitely got some guys that it's like, okay, hold on, I see why Cam is taking off. Y'all tell him not to, but what else he gonna do?
Yeah.
You get onto him when he throws it, he runs. You get onto him when you want to do.
Absolutely. All right, man. I had a couple of honorable mentions. I want to jump in just real fast, and you actually mentioned a couple of them, so that's good to cut off some of our time here. I was going to bring up Jarvis Landry as an honorable mention and Allison as an honorable mention. So I only got one more that I want to talk about here before we just get out of here. That's James Washington. You were very high on him last year, and nothing positive thus far this offseason. Nothing overly negative, but just a bunch of noise. What do you think about that situation there?
Yeah, I'm hating that for James. And the thing about it was when I was excited about him, he hadn't gotten on the field yet. And now he's gotten on the field. He's gotten a chance to catch the balls with Ben Roethlisberger, and he's dropped quite a few. I think he bulked up or something. I think I saw a report of, but I don't know. I don't know the last time somebody had a catching problem. They bulked up and then they could catch the ball better, So
my hands are
I don't know.
thicker.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got more radius now. I don't know. They brought in Moncrief. They drafted the Deontay guy. I'm not too excited at all with James Washington.
Yeah. Same. Just a lot. This is too much unknown. They were really excited about him last year. But again, they went out and drafted this guy Deontay, and also they brought in Moncrief, and Moncrief is one of those spark score warriors where you say if he could just get somewhere, for a little bit there, he looked great in Indianapolis. You thought he was going to have that breakout and didn't quite work out with him. I think some of the injuries, took a toll. Maybe he's back to full health, but again, one of those score warriors where like if he just gets in the right system with the right quarterback, he has the physical tools to make it happen. And some report came out where he's a slam dunk for the number 2. Slam dunk for the number 2. Now again, this is pre-camp hype. But, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire, and when they feel the need to bring in 2 wide receivers, which is not, it's not crazy. You got 4 viable wide receivers. It's not crazy, but, is he going to be that number 2? I don't know where you're getting him in drafts right now, if there's a value on him or not, but certainly it hasn't gone the way we were thinking it would go with him once AB left. All right, there is one more thing I want to talk about here, and the floor is going to be yours. I'm going to let you go ahead and end off the show, but I just want you to tell us your thoughts here. I got to know what's happening here. It's confusing to me, but I want to hear what you got to say on it, and maybe you can help other people out. You probably know where I'm going with it. The floor is yours, sir. What is up with Marquise Goodwin? You and Marquise Goodwin, what's happening here?
So...
Do you need me to tee it up some more? Maybe, folks, he's trading and getting Marquise Goodwin everywhere he can. He's trading second-round rookie picks and third-round 2021 picks as well. He had a 3-way trade with that scenario, and he did it again this last draft. So I'm confused. Everybody's confused. What's happening?
Yeah, it's hilarious that you asked me that. I've had people messaging me and asking me, I want to know what you know that we don't know.
Right.
It's nothing. I have not heard any prolific news or anything that I'm hiding from people. Only thing I'm living on, I'm going off of 2 things. One, I'm going off of faith, and that's just my personal thing. I think Marquise Goodwin has been through a lot, especially just this past year, that held him back a lot for football, for him to be as talented. We know the talent's there, so it's held him back and kind of kept him at bay. And I think that he can get over that this next year. On a different side of it, when Jimmy G was his quarterback, the 5 games the year before, Marquise Goodwin was fantastic with Jimmy G. Jimmy G didn't play last year. He got hurt. Well, he played a game, I think, and he got hurt. So I'm looking at, I saw what he did with Jimmy G. George Kittle wasn't fantastic when Jimmy G was on the field, so I'm not really hearing that conversation of, well, George Kittle's there. And I'm not saying George Kittle's not going to be good. He's a beast. I think he's going to be fantastic. But I think Marquise Goodwin is going to do a lot better than what people are trading him for, what people are expecting him to do. And for me personally, that's why I'm trying to get him everywhere that I can.
So when you say he's going to do a lot better than people are expecting, you're trading second-round rookie picks. Now, these second-round rookie picks, if you haven't been in the Dynasty draft, folks, they have some value in these second rounds. You're getting Justice Hill in the second round. You're getting guys like Andy Isabella second round. You're getting Noah Fant second round this year. You're getting J.J. Arcega-Whiteside second round this year. You got some talent.
Maybe. There. Whiteside's creeping up
to
that first round lately. Yeah,
maybe Deebo Samuel second round this year. So you got some talent there happening, and you're letting that pick go for Marquise Goodwin, and it's just super surprising. And then I got him to admit that he doesn't care about third round 2021, so I got him to throw that in too. And I'm just shocked. I hope it works out, kind of. Because I have Pettis a couple places, so I kind of don't hope it works out. But for your sake, if it does, I'll be happy.
Pettis. First, though, here's. Let me make sure this is absolutely 100% clear. I love Dante Pettis, and I think Dante Pettis is going to be awesome. In no way do I see Goodwin cutting in the Pettis. I just think Goodwin will. I think the 49ers, and maybe that's me saying I think the 49ers offense is going to be really, really good, because I think they have a lot of weapons. I think they have enough pass-catching weapons that the ball can be fed around and you can get enough points out of Marquise Goodwin on a weekly basis to feel comfortable playing him and still have Dante Pettis putting up great numbers and still get good numbers from George Kittle. And also, for the listeners, I'm not super high on the 2019 draft class, so maybe that's why I'm sending my second round pick. I can see how that can be rich for a lot of people. So I just wanted to make sure I said that as well. But I am super excited on Marquise Goodwin, and I will definitely, by the end of the season, if I was wrong, I would definitely, we'll have something for me to do or something on here.
All right, folks. Well, that's the show for tonight. Hope you guys got something good out of it. As usual, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Dave, do you have anything else for the folks tonight?
I want to thank all the people that said Ollie was wrong and broke the bro code on our last video. I appreciate you guys. I agree with you guys.
Oh, I'm glad you brought it up. Wait, before we go, I did not shoot you that horrible. After I drafted Boston Scott, I did not shoot you Boston Scott for Melvin Gordon. It was Cook, Boston Scott, and like a second rounder for Melvin Gordon. I was going to put Cook was in the conversation, and we're not talking about Jared Cook. I mean, that wasn't.
Man, look.
Come on, Cook is a back end number one first round pick. He's a back end
Cook
first
has
round
not played a full season yet.
And neither has Melvin Gordon.
Thank you. I will say this though, people. We came to a pack. You know, this last draft that you heard us mention on this show. I passed over Latavius Murray for him to get Murray, and he passed over Keelan Cole so I can get Cole. So we're
back okay.
We got back into the graces, yeah.
All right, folks. We're gonna let you guys go. You guys have a wonderful week. We'll be back here continuing our stock down series. Probably do quarterbacks and tight ends next time. So you guys enjoy your football, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.